What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ricky, your favorite plumber. A lot of people don't know this, but there are private equity companies all across the greater Tampa Bay, Orlando, Miami markets buying up small mom and pop plumbing companies, HVAC companies, and electrical companies. And I've got a bit of a controversial take. And my controversial take is, I think every tradesman should go out and get their license. Why is this controversial? Well, number one, I think monopolies, it's pretty obvious that monopolies are bad for the end user, right? If you're in if your only choice is Microsoft or Apple, is that really a choice? You see what I'm saying? And in that scenario, it doesn't really matter who you choose, because they own so much market share that there's an illusion of choice. I'll illustrate this with an example. So my brother works for a very well-known nationwide plumbing company. In fact, the company he works for, they do plumbing, air conditioning, and electrical services. At this company, they are owned by a private equity firm, which I'm not going to state here, which owns a handful of other companies, the larger companies, in his locale, the Orlando Villages area. And when he goes out to an estimate, and a customer calls 3 or 4 different plumbing companies to give him an estimate, what the customer doesn't realize is that the 3 or 4 plumbing companies that come to their house to give them an estimate on a repipe are owned by the same private equity firm. And so he shows up at a house to do his estimate, and as he's leaving, the other plumber shows up to do their estimate, and he just looks at the other guy and laughs, and they both shrug because they're both owned by the same parent private equity company. And so is the customer, and listen, what these private equity companies do is they buy up companies, and then they centralize the operations, and they centralize the staffing and the marketing. They make things more efficient, which is great. But what they also do is they standardize pricing. And so if you call 3 plumbing companies in a locale, there's a chance that you will get prices to do a job that are within a few percentage points of each other, and they do it that way on purpose. So whether they hire company A or B or C or D, if they're all owned by the same private equity firm, did they really get a choice? I would propose no, they didn't, and they probably wouldn't have hired those companies if they knew that they weren't actually getting a choice. Or maybe they didn't have a choice because those are the only 4 plumbing companies in that area. Whatever. So my controversial take goes back to this. I think every tradesman should get their license. I think it's good to have competition. I think it is good to have more than just 2 or 3 companies that are running the show in an area. In my own experience, in the greater Tampa Bay area, I have many friends that have gone out and started their own companies within the last 2 to 3 years. And they're killing it. They're doing great. And most of these guys, they have 1 truck, 2 truck, 3 trucks. Myself, we're a 3-truck plumbing company. I enjoy the work that I do. It's not too stressful. There's times where we have tons of work and we have to work a lot. And then there's times where it slows down, but it's not so stressful because we don't have so much overhead that I have to start laying guys off the second things get slow, right? And so I think it would be wonderful if every tradesperson got their license and at least operated as an independent contractor. And what it would do for the market is it would actually introduce competition back in, and then you would have tradespeople competing for their knowledge, their expertise, their intelligence, their ability to communicate, etc. And not this false competition where when you call 3 different companies, you're actually getting the same customer service rep call center for every single one. Those are my thoughts. I think it would be awesome if this could happen. I'm a big fan of recommending to tradespeople to go out and get their license. Even just be self-employed, work for yourself. There's a lot of freedom in not having a boss. I'm spoiled. I've been on my own for 6 years now. I'll never work for anyone ever again. At least not on an employee basis. I mean, I would consider maybe being some type of subcontractor, right? But I'll never, ever the rest. I'm spoiled. After you've worked for yourself for 6 years, you decide when you get up, when you work, when you don't work, when you vacation, when you don't. You don't have to check in with HR, submit forms, and deal with all that nonsense. How could you possibly want to go back to work for someone else? So that's my controversial take. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Have a great day. Peace.